Guys, I wanted to riff on a few points here real quick. In game, it's important to solidify your goal. What are you actually trying to achieve out of this? Are you trying to feel happier? Or are you trying to get as many lays as possible and increase your body count as much as possible? Are you trying to find a baddie that you want to eventually hook up with and then maybe retain and have as a regular, a girl that you think is hot and you respect her, you think she's cool, you enjoy your time around her, you guys have such good chemistry and enjoy your time together. The latter would be my goal, right? I'm at this stage where I don't necessarily want to just rack it and have 2 lays a weekend, 2 lays a weekend. I don't care that much about the lay in general anymore, but we'll get back to that actually in a moment. My current goal is to just really get a girl that I really think is attractive, fun. We have great chemistry and the vibes are just amazing. And she's amazing. She's hot, gorgeous, whatever, right? And then hopefully keep that as a long-term thing that sticks and stays, right? And so how you game is going to be different for each of these goals. So actually getting back to the other goal, which would be lay maxing or increasing your body count as much as possible and just going out to do pickups so that you can get laid as much as possible. A couple things play into that, right? First of all, what are your standards, right? So you can definitely lay max. You can get a ton of lays if your standards are lower. And that might be a trade that you're willing to do. Maybe you will go down to, the sixes and sevens, right? I'm not talking fours or like completely, chopped, but I'm saying, okay, yeah, you'll dabble with the sixes or whatever, right? That is something you should consider if you want to lay max. And why lay maxing as a goal might be something that is actually something you might want to do, especially as a beginner, is that it gets you the experience, the reps, the confidence. And once you've had 20, 30, 40 lays in your belt, I mean, you've been there, done that, you know what you're doing at that point because you get experience and you get expertise and you become good at something the more you follow through with stuff. Because, for example, imagine you're saying, you know what, Alex, that's cool and all, but I just want to go for the baddie. Well, guess what, man? What happens when you're trying to pull or get her back to the room or hook up, right? Or have intimacy? You've never been there or done that with the sixes or the sevens 10 times before and found out these little problems and tweaks and optimizations to make that experience even better for the baddie when it does come. So that's why I think in the beginning, it might be good to lay max as a beginner to get reps, to get experience at every stage in the journey from pulling, hooking up, intimacy, retention, etc. Okay. And so maybe once you become more intermediate to advanced, then maybe you can start optimizing for quality a little bit more, exactly the type of experiences specifically that you want. Now, going back to lay maxing again, how that shows up in your game differently is you want to have a high volume type of strategy where you want to talk to as many girls as possible, right? Have as many conversations as possible, and then identify very quickly if they are the archetype of girl that would be able logistically to come back with you and hook up in general. A couple things that I found, guys. First of all, obviously, if they are lower SMV, so the sixes and sevens, they're typically a little bit more likely. So if you see a lower SMV girl, you might want to pursue that a little bit harder and try to pull that because there's a higher likelihood that you will succeed. The second thing, if they are either alone or, maybe in a two-set. A two-set, I believe, is a very high likelihood pool because a two-set of girls goes out to the bar because they just have one friend. They just want to go out and kind of like bob around and like look around at the guys that are there. If they're a 3 or a 4 or a 5 set, it's a girls' night, it's a trip, they're all just going to dance and have fun together. That is their goal typically, I've found. Whereas if it's a 2-set, it's a girl and her friend. One of them maybe really wants to get laid and the other one is there just to provide that friendship to the person or have something to do. So she's either the protector or whatever, cock blocker, but typically the 2 sets work. And then also, guys, you will find occasional single sets and they are definitely easy to pull because a lot of times these girls are visiting, traveling. They wanted to go out and just have a cocktail and just kind of like look around and see what's popping. And if someone does spark up a conversation and maybe they're not from the area, maybe they're traveling, maybe they were just really bored and they're actually pretty confident or independent in the sense that they're willing and able to go out by themselves, right? So single sets, 2 sets I've found. 3 sets, sure, but those are typically easier if you have 1 or 2 wingman as well because pulling a 3-set by yourself is pretty difficult. So, and then also, guys, qualification or screening pretty quickly. So logistics screening. What are your plans later? Does she have ability, to come back to you? Oh no, I have to like take care of my friend or this or that, right? So you have to very quickly screen for logistics. Like, can this actually work out? Oh no, I have to leave. Like, in an hour. This is physically feasibly not possible. Okay. So screening for logistics. Also, one of my buddies likes to screen for openness to sexuality in general. So he'll say like 6 figures, 6 inches, or 6 feet in height, which is the most important, right? And girls would be like, oh, haha. Like if they actually play along with it, that's a sign that they're more open to kind of flirty sexual topics. But if they're like, why would you ask that or something like that, that means they're not open sexually. They're like kind of in this like closed off mindset towards sexual encounters and talk in general, right? So bringing up sexual topics in general and seeing how the girls respond is a screening technique that you can use to see if that set is likely to close. This is all about high volume and very quickly determining patterns for which girls are likely to close. Another thing I found, guys, is actually foreign ladies or women that are maybe from another country or something. They're always looking to make new friends in that area, or if they're, just moved to the area in general, they're often easier to pull. And lower SMV girls, obviously, and a couple others maybe would be like, honestly, guys, like single moms, because they're looking to get back another partner pretty much. And then guys employing those techniques, seeing if it's there. If it's not, quickly move on to the next, right? Like don't stay in this set for an hour if it's a dead end set and you're able to tell that because you've seen the patterns, right? So is this going to be a possible close? Yes or no? No. Okay. I'm immediately gone and on to the next and kind of scanning and seeing which ones will, and then latching onto that, pulling it, lay. Okay. And then the other thing, guys, is if you're going for, say, the higher quality approach, like the second goal that I mentioned, the baddie that you don't care about having as many sexual experiences as possible, kind of been there, done that a little bit. Like now we want like the higher quality. We want to be a little bit more selective which ones we're actually going for. These ones, typically, guys, it is possible to find them solo by themselves or in a 2-set or something. But a lot of times, guys, these baddies will be in a group of like 3 to 4 girls. So it's ideal to have like wingmen. It's ideal to maybe be patient with not being able to close that night because oftentimes with big groups, logistics are difficult if they're not all down to go to an after party or something. And then also just obviously having good game and not fumbling or over pursuing, over chasing, trying too hard to close too soon. And so you're going to have to be more delicate with those ones, especially because you're reducing your options. So you really have to play a mistakeless chess game for those higher quality ones because obviously if their SMV is higher, you're going to be more selective. You have to be more of a Chad. Your game has to be better. Figure out which of those goals, or if there's another goal, if it's like, I just want to improve my confidence, my aura, that might be another one, right? And that's a very, honestly, great one to have. It's like, I just want to improve my character and my like happiness and my contentment with myself and my inner state. Because that's kind of like a side goal that I'm even working on, is just like how to just feel more comfortable socially and just have a better aura, better attraction, better charisma. I think that's an awesome thing to work on as well. And maybe if that's your goal, maybe pulling or just getting the lays in general isn't as big of a thing. It's more of like the actual interactions. Like your metric of success is how much attraction and how into it was she, right? How much charisma did you have that night? Like how much of the life of the party were you, right? So interesting thoughts, guys. And I hope that helped. But yeah, make sure you check out which of the goals you have and adjust your game and how you actually go up to that bar, change it accordingly. Peace.